too.
As far as the Chiefs go, you guys assessed some needs that were blaringly obvious.
Yeah, if
with some
we're never
with
going to be
some
winning free
unproven
agency
guys though.
though.
Like I don't. I'm
Who's
not
the tackle, the backup tackle from
Jalen
for the
Moore.
49ers? Yeah, I
Jalen
think he'll
Moore.
be fine for you guys.
So yeah, as far as free agents go for or let's just look through the Kansas City Chiefs transactions here. If my phone wants to
You
work
guys
with me.
re-signed Nick Bolton, right?
We
Yes, we
did.
did.
We re-signed
wow.
Hollywood Brown and
This
Nick
whole show
Bolton,
didn't think Nick Bolton was going to get re-signed, right? Like, I know Ty Bob did not think he was going to get
I
re-signed.
didn't think it was
I know you
happening,
didn't think he was.
especially for the money that we gave him at 15
Yeah.
million a year. I'm very surprised that that still happened. It makes more sense after Justin Reed was let go. I knew that Justin Reed probably wasn't coming back. With that being the case, I thought that we may go a little bit more in terms of like how much we would give or offer Nick Bolton. I'm very surprised that we went to 15 mil a year for 3.
Mm. All right.
I like the Elijah Mitchell signing. I think he's sneaky good.
Yeah. That's a good sign.
We brought back Marquise Brown.
Yes.
We franchise tag Trey Smith.
Correct.
And
We
then
brought
we
in
brought
center
in
Christian Fulton.
we brought in a decent corner in Christian Fulton.
Which I don't know if you guys know this. Christian Fulton is the reason why Rashee Rice was out for the year. Christian Fulton was the no Christian Fulton was the corner who intercepted Patrick Mahomes' pass that caused Patrick Mahomes to go in for the tackle and blow out Rashee Rice's knee.
Yeah,
a really long butterfly effect, but I see what I see it.
Still putting
I
that
see
on
it.
Pat Mahomes.
Yeah. Well, okay, I don't know. You can't put it on the quarterback trying to make a tackle. Like that's not his fucking job to like
Tybo,
make a tackle.
you said you're excited for Elijah Mitchell, and in the few games that we've been able to see him actually play in the NFL, I think he's a very good talent.
He's not going to be utilized with us though. He's going to be
the issue is he's consistently injured. They have a database. They made a database to determine how likely it is. The NFL,
they.
Sorry, Sean.
Fuck, NFL man. Version
Figure
of
it out.
I'm asking questions. Shit.
They created a database which would determine based on previous injuries, how many games they played, a whole different bunch of factors to determine how likely a player is to get injured in their next season that they play. Elijah Mitchell has a 96% chance to have a season-ending injury.
That's just the 49ers.
Like him and Christian McCaffrey are just fucking fighting for that.
Neck and neck for it. So I agree. Elijah Mitchell is a fantastic talent. He'll be great as a third, fourth string running back. Hopefully, he probably gets cut because we're probably going to draft a running back. I like the talent, but he's probably not going to be sticking around too much past the 53-man cut.
I mean, he would be a nice little smash and dash counterpart to Kareem Hunt. So.
But the biggest piece that we brought in, Jalen Moore, we touched on it slightly. The Kansas City has a new left tackle. Patrick Mahomes has a new blindside protector. We've kind of talked about it a little bit in our group chat. We've kind of let it sit here for a little bit. I've watched some film on Jalen Moore. What are your guys' initial thoughts?
I said his name wrong.
We said his name
when I read it, I called him Jalan. I was like, I was like, that's definitely Jalen, but I don't know why I said Jalan.
we're definitely going to fine you for that now. So there's 2 fines for this.
No, hey, that's hand up accountability. I saw his name instantaneously, and I was like, that's not how you say that. I read it, and I was like, that's not how you say his name.
I hope you're tracking these.
No, I'm not. Somebody else fucking do it this year.
No, I think this is a
Tommy,
great
you're in charge of
for
fines.
us.
The guy's got zero. The guy's got one fucking job, Ty Bob. He's got one fucking job.
He's got one job. He doesn't do any of the editing.
King. He's the content king.
And he barely comes out.
I'm the guy you turn to when we want to put out fucking YouTube videos, okay? When we hit subscriber marks, Tybo, what are you gonna do?
Dude can't even give us a competent top 5. He gave us a top 3.
The nerve.
I gave you 5 bad liquors. I don't know what you want from me.
I'll try. There, Ty Bob. All right.
I got
I'll
it.
try.
I got it. You fucking
okay.
You do editing. I got it.
All right. Sometimes.
So back to Jalen Moore. What are you guys' initial thoughts?
Where was he before? I'm sorry. I don't know
He
much
was
about the
backup
guy.
for
I'll
Trent
be
He was the
Williams.
backup to Trent
That's right,
Williams.
okay.
He did play a very significant amount of games in his rookie season as they made it to the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo. He didn't play, I don't think, a single game the following season because Trent Williams was healthy. He's played in a couple of games here and there in the last 2 years.
I
Well, I think
really
he's
like
got-
it. I think it's
Oh,
nice
yeah.
that we're gonna push Kingsley into left guard. I think that helps him out a lot. And Jalen, I mean, he looked fine for most of the snaps that I saw from him.
It's either him or
Time will
Caliendo.
tell. Time will tell
Yeah.
with it, but I mean, it also depends on how far Pat wants to drop back and if Jalen can protect that long as well too, because that's been an issue for Pat with some.
Well, yeah.
far
Do you
passes.
think you guys are gearing up to like? You think Andy's like, you know what? Fuck it. We tried the whole run the ball down your throat thing. It worked for a little bit. We're gonna drop.
Yeah, he
back
never tried
50
that.
times a game and throw the fucking ball. Like you don't think he's
He-
trying to set up to run the ball right now? Like he's setting up to
Hopefully.
protect Pat and throw the ball 50, 40, 50
That
times a game.
depends on what type of running back they draft next month.
And how healthy
Trade up for Ashton
Isaiah
Genty.
Pacheco
We
is.
trade all of our draft picks, all of the draft picks,
I'd be
just
sick.
to pick up Ashton Genty.
I'd be sick to my stomach.
What can we trade Isaiah Pacheco for?
A second?
Dude, I forgot that
A
he was even on the
second?
team.
No,
I'd say a second and some other guy, like
he's
a
probably
player
gonna go
and a
for-
second. I think you can.
He's
get
Or
probably
lower.
going to go for a
No
4.
shot. Did you,
You don't
look at the
think?
way he was running after he got
Wow.
injured?
I saw him run twice. How like I can't make a decision on how he was running if I only saw him run the ball 4 fucking times since he's been healthy.
I don't have a whole lot of faith in his ability to get back to where he was. I just don't.
I don't think he had
I
too
hope-
many
I hope we can
opportunities
see
to.
it.
Like I don't think you guys like.
I would like
you guys
to
just
see
had a
him
different
get back
mentality.
to
I
it.
feel like.
'Cause we definitely didn't run the ball the same way, and he
No.
definitely wasn't healthy in the postseason. But I'll say this after my slight film review of Jalen Moore. Very good run blocker as a left tackle. That's not something you often get because you don't often run towards your left tackle. He can find the second level very well, and he can stay on a block downfield. Very impressive. Not a lot of guys can do that. I think his run blocking abilities and capabilities are very strong. I think he has very good footwork. His punch is very strong, and he knows how to stay inside on the fits. Juwan Taylor, no holding, please. But he knows how to do that. The one thing I would say is he's going to be coming from a very different scheme from the 49ers. 49ers were a lot of rollout, quick passes, and run the ball. He's going to have to learn how to run the ring a little bit differently. In San Francisco, he was able to run a shallow ring, throw him behind the quarterback at maybe a 2 to maybe 3-step drop before Brock Purdy was either up in the pocket and out or far outside on a bootleg. And that's where my one worry is with him is his footwork is good. His hands and punches are good. I don't know how far he can drop back. He was engaging very quickly when he was in San Francisco.
That
So
internal
that
clock,
could-
you think?
That could be an issue. Again, just how far depth is he going to be able to run with some of the defensive ends that present themselves in the AFC, more specifically in the AFC West, Max Crosby, some of the guys that they've got over
The West is
uh,
hard, man. The West is fucking
West is
hard.
hard.
It's a-
with the Broncos. The Broncos got some very good defensive players.
the waiters, we gotta watch out.
You think he can block Nick Bonito?
So I am worried about how far Patrick Mahomes drops and how quickly he can get back there to run the ring. The last thing that I did see with Jalen Moore there, chest liked to stay over the toes. He almost, even in pass sets, liked to stay as if he was run blocking quite a bit. Now, that didn't present itself as to be like an issue while in San Francisco, specifically because the NFC West and a lot of the NFC defensive
You
players,
could get
especially
away with that. for
those
the
that
most
he
part,
played against,
probably.
didn't have a good push-pull.
Yeah.
Didn't really have a way to pull them towards him. He's going to go up against a lot better competition in the AFC at defensive end, especially when I'm thinking of like the guys like Nick Bonito, like you said, and Max Crosby, like that was mentioned. Those guys have a
Crosby doesn't
full
usually play
arsenal.
on his side though. Max Crosby's going over Jawan Taylor.
I agree, but Max Crosby also likes to move. He can go over the weaker guy. Like he does like a specific side to play on, but he
Yeah,
can move when
yeah.
when necessary.
The
And
the ET for the Raiders works quite well.
if that presents itself where his chest is still going to be over his toes, my worry is that he's not going to be able to drop fast enough with the way that Patrick Mahomes likes to drop 10 steps back in the pocket. And he's going to be chest over toes. He's going to be likely to give up on the push pulls quite a bit, and just susceptible to one particular move that everybody's going to know to use. Um, I think he's very capable. I think he's very good. He did play very good in the NFC. He played very good for the 49ers. But those two pieces right there, I don't know how far he can drop. That's not on him. That's just not on the film. That's not the way that the 49ers were running it. But the chest over toes, that's a really, really big one. Can't stay run block engaged the whole time.
I mean, you guys obviously signed him for a reason, right? Like,
Well,
there's potential there. You guys at least think there is.
yeah, it's potential, and that's the big word. He's not paid like a top tier guy because he's not a top tier left tackle.
I don't think
And
you
he
guys
could
have the
be.
money.
He could
You don't
be.
have the
Like,
money
we-
to pay for someone like that, though.
Well,
Could
so.
be.
we
Could
We
be
could have.
potential. This is
We
what
could
I'm
have. We
talking
could have
about. We
gone
did
for
not
Ronnie
sign
Stanley.
a proven guy. We did not sign a proven talent that's going to 100% shore up that left tackle spot. We paid the money that we could for a guy that we could get, and he's gonna have to prove himself. Like,
Hey,
that's,
dude, like that's sometimes. Hey, that's the fucking bed you've made yourself, though. Now you got to sleep in it. Like,
Yeah.
It was the best left tackle signing for us that we possibly could have made. Ronnie Stanley was
Mhm.
already off the market. The Steelers left tackle that got signed, he signed a major contract,
get hit
and
with
the
tampering.
Steelers.
Jalen Moore.
Yeah,
Or no,
Jalen. No, what?
not Jalen Moore. Jalen.
Moses,
It's
right?
Who
Who cares?
now?
Who cares? The Steelers fans were talking shit on him all year because of how bad of a left tackle he was, and he got like a $90 million contract. So
oh, the guy that signed with the Patriots
yes,
Yes.
so
because people got in a
having
bidding war.
Jalen Moore for the contract we have, that is a
Yeah.
fantastic win compared to what we could have had.
Yeah, and speaking of Ronnie Stanley, we might get hit with tampering. Us, the Patriots, and
Really?
the Commanders.
There's no
Yeah.
credible sources. There's no credible sources that have released that information. I've seen the same rumors. There's no credible sources that are actually.
What are your
I
sources?
said we might.
What are your
I
sources?
said might. I didn't say it's gonna
I-
happen. I said we might.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. And I didn't mean to be like uber critical of Jalen Moore, right? Those are just the things that I'm seeing on some of the film that I've watched. I think it was a
didn't mean to
very
be, but
smart
you
move.
came off
That was
like that.
49ers Jalen Moore. That's not Chiefs
Exactly.
Jalen Moore.
Again, there's it's a different scheme, and I think the Chiefs did really good work in bringing Jalen Moore in. I think a 2-year contract for the 20-30 million dollars we gave him. It's a fantastic deal that you get for a left tackle that is unproven. You can be done with him realistically at the end of this season. At the end of 1 year, you can cut him, no problem. And if you keep him on for 2 years, also non-factor issue,
Yeah.
because he can either prove himself, and at the end of 2 years, you've moved off of Travis Kelce's money, and you've also been able to move off of some of Chris Jones's money, and you can re-sign him to what needs to be done. So there's more cap room to be made from there. And if you need to move off of him completely, perfect. I think we can still sign a tackle. I would really, really, really like to see us pick up either the tackle from Minnesota or the tackle from Texas in the second or third round. I think we can get either one of those guys in the third round in this year's draft. That's your backup piece. They get to learn the system, and they're not pressured to get in very quickly. And so I think this was probably the best move that the Chiefs could have made.
Hell
I
yeah.
100% agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, we won't know until around this time next year, right? At the end of the day, we won't really know if it was a
We
good
could
decision
learn in week
until
1.
yeah. We totally could, and that's the thing too. Like maybe the guy just hasn't had a lot of experience, and he could be your next
Well, it's also hard 'cause he
generational
was-
left tackle, right? Like
He
he
was a
absolutely
backup
could be.
behind Trent Williams. Let's not
Mhm.
forget that.
He
He's
probably
not-
knows a thing or two.
He's not jumping up above Trent Williams like that right away.
Yeah.
Even if he was
Yeah.
that good.
Nobody
You,
is.
you
Let's
like
see
to
what-
think
let's
it's this.
see what he
It's the
looks
same
like.
as like waiting behind a quarterback, right? Like sitting behind
Yeah.
a really good quarterback. You'd think it's the same idea there.
Let's see what he looks like when we pull him. Do what
Run counter.
Trent Williams. You should just bring him across.
We spent a lot of time on the Chiefs. We should probably get to some
Because it's a
of the
Fucking
big
Chiefs
name.
podcast.
It is. It is. and that's about all that we've got here. We've still got to determine if Rashee Rice is going to get suspended. The Xavier Worthy thing has obviously blown over. We've got to get to the draft. There's positions that we need to really hammer home and get after. Edge, defensive line, those are the main two that we now need to hit. Probably get an offensive tackle in hopefully the third round if we can get somebody to fall that far. Pick up a halfback as well, and we'll be on our way. The Buffalo Bills, do you guys think that they got any better this offseason so far pre-draft?
They need a what?
Uh,
Did they pick up
Joshua
any wide
Palmer.
receivers?
Joshua Palmer.
That's right. Yeah, the
big
guy
need
from
for
the
them.
Chargers.
I think Joey Bosa is just pretty much lateral move from cutting Von Miller.
Von Miller. Yeah, I
It does
agree
nothing
there.
for them because Joey Bosa is going to get hurt and be out half the year anyways. So
They need the Palmer acquisition was good. They need to find another guy for Josh to throw the ball to in the
the
draft.
contract extension. with
Laviska
Josh, though,
Shenault,
was
don't
done
sleep
very
on him.
well.
I'm not I
Stop it.
think I don't need not it would behoove the Bills to find a solid guy in the draft this year to throw the ball to. I'm not saying you got to go find the next Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson, but like
They'll find somebody in the first round.
let's find a Jordy Nelson, let's find a Randall Cobb.
They may be going
you
for
know.
Luther Burden the third. That
There'll
would
be three-
surprising.
I would if he can fall and there
If he
are
could fall to us,
questions.
I would love that.
I would take Luther Burton over an edge in round one. That I really like that Texas A&M edge. He can definitely fall to us, but if Luther Burton
I
is
think
there
that's
at
the guy
31,
I was talking about earlier in the show that did not have a lot of really good stats at all, but everyone's high on.